what will be your assessment of the gentleman called SANWO-OLU'S?
I mean, it's not about the gentleman called SANWO-OLU'S, it's about the policies and governance. You see what's happening with the demolition of buildings, you see what's happening with the drainage situation. There is so much that is lacking. For where Lagos is, for the amount of income that Lagos generates, the quality of our education, the quality of our drainage systems, the quality of our healthcare systems, it leaves a whole lot to be desired, right? And you just see that it's more of the same. You get token projects at costs that are enormous, that cannot be that does not have any benchmark as to why we're spending that kind of money, especially at a time where things are so difficult for Nigerians. And you just see that it's just more of the same. It's a government that's just there to proliferate itself for its own interest, not the interest of the people, as far as I'm concerned.
So is there any maybe particular line item in terms of projects that you've seen that you suspect the costs of?
Oh, they are significant.
So maybe you can highlight them for us, because Lagos government, if you speak with someone who governs the state, he will say it's even further driven, the revenue numbers even higher than it met it. And Lagos, of course, is very celebrated all over the country as how big the economy is. They're talking about the train system and some other infrastructure and housing. They will tell you it's not Uhuru yet, but there are some significant strides being made by the SANWO-OLU'S government. So if you have a counter-argument, what will be that counter-argument? And they are specific as to quote-unquote allegedly inflated costs of project that you see.
I'm spoiled for choice. I don't even know where to start. If you're talking about the size of Lagos State's economy, Lagos State economy has been huge since the 1700s. Let's actually understand. Lagos State has been a home for commerce for a very long time. And if you're saying that you're driving revenue up, what is it in dollar terms? Right? Because our currency has lost a lot of value. So numbers, especially if you're getting some income based on dollar values and prices that have gone up, you're getting huge, high nominal numbers. But what is the real value of that money, right? That's something to consider when you talk about it. Then you look at the blue line, right? This blue line is supposed to be serving and making lives of Lagosians much better. Go and look at the percentage of people that actually can afford to use that blue line, that are using it. Look at the cost that Lagos State says they've spent on that 16 kilometers to 17 kilometers of rail that took almost 16 years.
Maybe you can give us those figures so Nigerians can relate.
So on paper, Lagos State is saying that they've spent close to $1 billion, right? On paper, the reports that we've gotten, right? The construction company, in their own statement that was filed by the company itself, said they were paid about $100 million. So now Lagos State explains that discrepancy as they had to do analysis. It had to get consultants to do analysis and all that. And this also ties into the BRT.
You're making a very strong allegation.
This allegation is not new.
So if it's $1 billion, let's use your number. Your number, $1 billion, and the company is saying is 100. That's 10%.
We've been talking about this since the 2019 elections, right? Even people like. These statements this is not new. It's just now that the blue rail has actually is seemingly to be working, that okay, they've tried to cover up for all of those things, right? You look at I've posted on social media, I've put out statements about consultancy fees that were charged to create the BRT corridors, right? These are billions, and what I said was that when you look at the way things are done in other parts of the world, for instance, when I was in school, if the government wants to do something that is innovative, they come to the universities, right? And then there's a thinking that happens there that then informs consultancy. So they save a lot of money in that regard. I'm talking about the ideas of saving money when your economy is really bad and people are suffering. You don't be spending billions on consultancy services.
Lagos State Governor SANWO-OLU'S needs to come and talk to Lagosians and Nigerians at large to defend these $1 billion plus allegation of this blue line. I mean, if you've been following this blue line construction, this has been going on for more than 60 years now, right? 16 years, I believe. And to have said that you spent $1 billion to build a railway line. I think nothing more than 24 kilometers, really. $1 billion. That's a lot of allegation. That's a lot. So Lagos State government needs to come and be transparent about this. Somebody, an independent accounting firm, needs to investigate. The Lagos State government books needs to be opened so that we can see how much they've generated, how much they borrowed from CBN internally, how much they raised, and how much they funded the blue line. We're not talking about the red line. We're talking about the blue line here. If we go by Rotsvival's allegation, if the consortium company, the Chinese company, is saying that they've only gotten X amount of money, and the Lagos State government is saying they've spent $1 billion, we're talking about a fraction, a tiny fraction of the money. That's what the Chinese company has actually, received for payment and doing the job. Then what about the $900 million? This is a bombshell allegation that needs to be taken seriously. I've often said this, that the people who have ruled Lagos State since 1999, from Tinubu all the way to SANWO-OLU'S, they've spent time empowering themselves. That's why Gbadebo driver roads have said that. This APC Lagos State government is a government of its own interest. And that's one of Bola, if not Bola Tinubu's strongest hold. And I'm saying this, that in 2027, we need to rise as a people, and Lagosians needs to come out to get APC out of Lagos. You would see how much fraud has been committed in Lagos State for the last 16 years. It will be eye-watering and mind-blowing to see how much they've collected and stolen from Lagos State. For 16 years, the same government has been in power for 16 years in circles, or since 1999 rather. The same government has been there since 1999. And for 16 years, they've been working on this blue line, and they spent $1 billion and plus. I mean, the estimated phase one blue line calculation is meant to be $1.2 billion they've spent. For the full, they're estimating $1.8 billion. That money wasn't even spent in a country like UK or in London, for example, where they have better working rail, where you say you're charging $44 million per kilometer. The corruption, the degree of corruption that has happened in Lagos State, until another political party takes over, that's when the books will be opened, I would think. Because I wouldn't assume that this Lagos State government will open the books. And that's why they will be afraid. Because they've given everything to their cronies, including, as it's been alleged, that the president's son is the one they've given contract for all billboards. You can see how they've been fattened up with the resources of the state, taxpayers' money. So at least for taxpayers' cases, especially considering the fact that they are breaking down people's houses, people are suffering from flood, allegations of smelliness of Lagos State smelling, and they're raising so much money, the Lagos State government needs to come out. You can't sweep this one under the carpet. Lagos State government needs to react to this, bombshell allegation by Rotsvival. But on the internet, you can actually check it out. It's right there. Because there's no official exact cost that's been declared yet. But the estimated is that it's between 1 to 1.2 billion. So you can just Google it online, you'll see that. And the Chinese company and the consortium needs to obviously come up and say, all right, this is how much we've charged so far for the work we have done. And then for that accounting firm will now show, okay, let everybody bring the books. How much did you pay for consultation? How much did you pay for, doing land tests and stuff like that? So the Nigerians can then see, how would you say you've paid so much for consultation compared to the actual project itself? Who does that? So this is where, where corruption is managing a state. This is when corruption is managing a people. The corruption will always thrive as long as it is allowed. And what has happened in Lagos State is that corruption has been allowed to fester for so long. Ali Baba was right when he said that our government will only work and look at education. Only they think there's some money to be made from it. And this is something that you see across all APC's projects. Imagine that Wike recently renovated the conference center for 39 billion. 39 billion naira when primary school students have been at home for more than 2 months. All they demanding was for 4 billion. You renamed an international conference center that has no value for us right now. And they say, and Tinubu likes taste. Nigerians are suffering. You can see the insensitivity of this government that we have. So SANWO-OLU needs to come out. This $1 billion fraud on the Blue Line needs to be explained. On the Blue Line Railway needs to be explained by SANWO-OLU. And Nigerians are waiting, Lagosians are waiting, standing by to hear from SANWO-OLU. How did you spend how come $1 billion been spent on the Blue Line? $1 billion plus and counting. Show us the books. Everyone needs to attend because we're coming to the place of accountability and everyone needs to give account of everything. But again, 2027 is important. We need to get APC out of power in Lagos State. And you can see, then you will see how much they've stolen from that Lagos State since 1999. So put your thoughts and your ideas and your comments in the comment section. Let's have our conversation about this. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also recommend this channel to others. I'll catch you up in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.